Hey, sports bettor. Yes, you. Guess what? Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for its 28th year of NFL action. So, here's what you got to do. Just click the link below in my description box and sign up today. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Long enough to cover the subject and short enough to keep it interesting. Welcome to Outta My League. I'm Nick Diaz. What's the hardest thing that you've ever done? What is it? I'll bet you anything. It was something to the effect of, well, I had to break up with a significant other. I had to put down one of my pets. I had to put down my dog, put down my cat. You had to see your child suffer through something that, even though deep down, you knew it was good for them in the long run. But just because it hurt like hell, and just because it was unpopular, that doesn't mean it was wrong. It's okay to overreact to the Saints trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It's okay, all right? I'm here to tell you it's okay to be a fan. I'm not going to be here like other people on Twitter or other people in the media that fan shame you. I'm not going to fan shame you, all right? I get it. He's a fan favorite and he's a great player, and it's okay for it to hurt. But that doesn't mean that this was the wrong decision. It just means it was an unpopular decision.
I want to say this. I want to say that was not an easy decision. I love Chauncey. He's been a big part of what we've been able to do here, specifically defensively, a big part of our organization for the last 3 years.
But it was the right one. And I'll prove it to you right now. See, once people got past the emotional hit of losing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, if you haven't already, then most of us asked the question, all right, well, what did the Saints get in return? And then it got even worse. The Eagles gave the Saints a 5th-round pick in 2023 and 2 6th-rounders in 2024. Man, that's some bullshit. Saints got robbed. They just got fleeced. Okay. Why did they get fleeced? Well, he's not worth a 5th and 2 6. He's worth more than that. Okay. If there was a better deal for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, don't you think the Saints would have found it and taken it? Well, Nick, if that's the case, then they should have just kept him on the team this year, because it's better to just keep him on the roster and go all out for this season than to just give him away, okay, and let Chauncey Gardner-Johnson walk next season for absolutely nothing. You're not going to pay him regardless. Jeff Duncan is reporting that the Saints and Gardner-Johnson were about $4 million apart per year. Not $4 million in total, $4 million per year in contract talks. He wanted $4 million more, they wouldn't give it to him. You've got major deals coming up with Eric McCoy, your all-pro center. Marcus Davenport, who considered by your head coach, your defensive head coach, a more valuable position, according to him. That's an actual quote from Dennis Allen. He affects the defense in maybe the most valuable way. So the Saints weren't going to spend all that money on a nickel corner when, on top of that, the Saints are loaded at corner and specifically nickel. They just drafted Alontae Taylor in the 2nd round. Bradley Roby, who has been dominating in practice, is also going to play nickel corner. P.J. Williams can play it. Justin Evans can play it. And from the Saints defensive head coach himself, a defensive head coach who played defensive back at Texas A&M, coached defensive back his entire career except for when he was a head coach for the Raiders, this is what that man had to say.
We wouldn't have done that if we didn't feel extremely confident in the group that we have. We feel like the defensive backfield was one of the deeper positions that we had, and we had a chance to acquire some more assets, and so that's the decision that we made.
Look, I'm out of my league. I named my show that for a reason. So if you don't trust me, trust one of the best defensive minds in all of the NFL that specifically specializes in defensive backs. Okay. I get it, Nick. I get it. But it's a 5th and 2 6. In the long run, that's freaking peanuts compared to what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson could have offered the Saints this year. A NFC title contender. You know what? You're probably right. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he could have helped out your team a lot this season, because a 5th and 2 6 isn't worth it in the long run. You're right. But here's a possibility. Maybe the Saints aren't done making trades. Have we ever considered that maybe they're going to do something else with that 5th and 2/6? Maybe the Saints are looking to trade for another player at a position of need. They need more depth at linebacker. They need more depth at running back. They need more depth at offensive line, especially now with Trevor Penning hurt. Maybe the Saints, who don't have a lot of picks for next year's draft, maybe they could use these picks to package something up to move up in the draft. Maybe this is just step 2 in a 37-step plan. Okay, if I haven't convinced you enough and you're still hurting, or if I have convinced you and you're still hurting still, think about it this way. Besides the Deshaun Watson flirtations, okay, it was more than a flirtation, but besides that, when have you ever looked at Mickey Loomis and said to yourself, I can't trust that guy. I don't trust him. Think about it. Look, it's okay to be a fan. I'm not fan shaming you, but fan favorites don't win championships. Organizations that know how to run a business do. I mean, think about the most well-run organization in football the last 20 years, the New England Patriots. How many times have they done that? How many times have great organizations said no? How many times have great organizations said, we are not beholden to emotion? We are not beholden to fans. You want to be like those, athletic directors in colleges who they listen to Twitter to see what the fans want and don't want and make overreactions based on that? No. That's your job, not the people up top. Now, if I haven't made you feel any better up to this point, well, here's what I have left. To the LSU Saints fans, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did play for the Florida Gators. So fuck him anyway. Thanks for listening to Out of My League. If you like what you heard, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Or follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok in the description link below.